Hello, beauties! Happy Saturday. We hope you're having a very relaxing day doing whatever it is that you're doing. For Fel and I, because we generally work a little bit on Sundays or at least half a day to prepare for the week, Saturdays for us are the most highly coveted real estate of a day where
of the week.
So Fel, what does a perfect Saturday look like to you?
Either keeping in touch and calling my family again, or reconnecting with myself and kind of catching up to do things that I've been putting off during the week. You know, like throughout the week, you attempt to clean your room and then day by day it accumulates and it gets to the Saturday and you wake up and you want to feel fresh, but then you see your whole chair full of dirty clothes. So time to like cleanse the everything and reconnect with oneself. What about you?
I will be reading from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to sleep. It doesn't matter what I'm reading. It's so rare these days to have a full day for you to just do whatever you want to do, right?
And it kind of reminds me of a newsletter we just sent out. If you're like subscribed to our newsletter thing, we talked about being alone does not equal being lonely. And I think like that's a really cool concept to kind of think about, kind of like time spent with self, right? So inspired by this, we're partnering up with Saturday Skin, which is a Korean skincare brand that you might have seen at Sephora. And they have a bunch of really eye-catching and just like beautifully packaged products. And we were able to test out the whole range to see which one kind of like fits Rose kind of skin condition, which is dry, kind of combo, and like pores and hyperpigmentation. Whereas mine is more like acne as well as post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, which is like the scarring that happens after acne, as well as kind of like oily areas. So we're gonna share our favorites from the line, kind of introduce you guys to what makes them so special, because I feel like they're truly underrated.
They are. They're one of those brands I remember seeing in Sephora and I was like, man, I want to try this. But I just never heard as many people talk about it. But guys, there's so many products that spoke to my soul that I'm so excited to share with you guys.
Yes, because there's something for literally every skin tones.
And if you guys are new to Beauty Within, we talk all things skincare, self-care, and healthy living. So this is right up our alley. Saturdays in general, Saturday Skin as a brand and everything that they stand for. And we hope that through these discussions, through these videos, we can help us collectively find our beauty within. So like, subscribe, and let's get started.
So what is Saturday Skin?
Saturday Skin believes that balance is not something you find, it's something that you create, which is everything we've talked about in the intro of what Saturdays mean to us and how some days they just tend to slip away, and then some days we create our ideal or our perfect day. And I feel like this is very relevant to our skincare routine as well. Balance isn't something that'll just come to you, it's something that you have to take time to nurture, to learn, and to be kind to yourself. Work on for weeks, months, years, and then one day it'll be natural. It'll just be like you just wake up and you just know what you need to do for your skin.
Actually, just like quick note, sometimes we wake up and we feel imbalanced. Sometimes we wake up and we feel totally balanced. And I think within that is the balance itself. So anyway, without getting like super deep or anything, Saturday Skin does have quite a simple line of products. So they have cleansing products, toning, eye creams, and also a couple of different types of moisturizers, which we're going to go through because we have our favorites. So should we go in order, or actually I want you to start off with your favorite.
My Yuzu sleeping mask. Guys, this sleeping mask is unlike any I've seen before. I think it's the fact that the whole yuzu is in the skincare product. The moment I opened the jar for the first time, it's like
you're
yuzu
honestly
jam.
Just hit with a yuzu like bubble tea.
Yeah, it's like yuzu jam. I was like, what is this? And you put it on your skin. It's super refreshing. It's super lightweight, and my goodness. So yuzu is a citrus fruit from Asia, and it has 3 times the amount of vitamin C compared to most other citrus fruits. So in this sleeping mask, the whole yuzu is actually used from the peel to the seed. I think that's awesome. In it, there's also niacinamide as well as a little bit of retinol and peptides. So all of these ingredients together, you're basically getting vitamin A, vitamin B from niacinamide, and vitamin C. And peptides to help with collagen production and skin barrier.
You know, when we talk about Tatcha, they have the Hadassah 3, which is their 3 kind of blend ingredients.
Yes.
So Saturday Skin has a CHA7 complex, which is basically a peptide complex that they came out with to promote collagen, elastin, so basically like retaining that youthful skin. And it's formulated all throughout their products. And on top of the vitamin C that just comes from the yuzu, it's also got ascorbic acid, as well as ceramides, which is great because, you know, ceramides build healthy skin, and coupled with the niacinamide. So it's really just this like skin building, fortifying, rejuvenating, like fun actual product to use. Yeah.
So normally, how would you use this in your routine? Would you spray and then sleeping mask, or would you serum, or depending on kind of where you are in your life?
In my life, deep. We did a video before where Ro and I swapped routines, and she gave me this cream, and you know what? I actually used it wrong. I thought it was a mask, and so I put like slabs of it all over my skin. Tonight I'm gonna be using the Saturday Skin Yuzu Vitamin C Sleep Mask. It's very spreadable, basically like, yeah, melted sorbet ice cream. It's not sticky, it's very light. And then was like, wait a second, this does not feel right. Wait! I used it wrong! This is what happens when you don't read directions, guys. How to use apply after moisturizer, leave on overnight. So what do? Just like blend this in. I'll just use it as a moisturizer. Oh god.
It's a moisturizing sleeping mask that also helps
Yeah.
you brighten your skin.
Okay, so like normally with sleeping masks, I like to keep it really simple. So I'll just do like a toner, whether that's pat on or spray, and then go straight into moisturizer for my oily skin because that's more than enough. It like keeps it really plump and hydrated towards the morning because I wake up like kind of greasy normally anyway. But another thing with this one that I really love doing is putting it in the fridge because it adds this extra kind of like refreshing element to it. It's just like zing, zing, zing.
It's like a yuzu lemonade.
Burst.
Yuzu sparkling water.
How do you use it for your
So,
dry skin?
Because my skin is very dry when I first got this, and it was still pretty cold. So the way that I would use it is I do my regular skincare routine, maybe skip the serum depending on how I'm feeling, but I'd still use a very basic moisturizer. And then I will put this on top. Just because I feel like my skin still needs that, emollient.
Yeah, it needs a little bit more.
And I think with something like this, if you guys want something that's super brightening and will do it ASAP, you should probably use a vitamin C or some brightening product within your serum step.
Okay, so that's Rose because Ro is the queen of like anything brightening. You know, if you have any questions about that, leave it below. Vitamin C, serums, moisturizers, whatever it is, she's got you covered. Mine, on the other hand, guess what my cup of tea is, guys?
Pores, glycolic,
Which one do you think is my fave?
the pore toner.
Yeah. So you guys know that I really love my exfoliating toners because that's truly where I feel like it's the most effective, especially for combination oily skin that's also problematic. As soon as you feel it congested, as soon as you feel something that's like it's starting to bubble up and feel a little bumpy, or if you're trying to fix the aftermath of, you know, active pimples and you're left with scarring, these are the type of toners that I will always jump to. So for example, the 2% Paula's Choice BHA's Holy Grail. There's also the Sun By Me, which I really love, but this is a 10% formulation of glycolic acid, which is really effective without it being too drying. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be like the lowest percentage because low percentage glycolic acid is like 2% or 5%, which is like the beginner's level. So if you haven't tried glycolic acid, I would definitely suggest you start off with something a little bit lower. This is kind of for like people who have tried that and you're in the intermediary and you know your skin can really benefit from it. And what it it does for my skin is to lighten up the acne marks, but also control the T-zone and large pores. So my nose will get really congested over time. You know how it just kind of like builds up and you don't even notice it, and then all of a sudden you look in the mirror and you're like, what is this? What is this? Yes. So glycolic acid is the most effective of the AHAs. So like something like 20% is your spa grade peel. So the 10% is kind of that porridge just right if you've used it before. And then on top of that, it's got really great anti-inflammatory ingredients that my oily skin also really loves, which is tea tree oil. And tea tree oil just helps calm redness when it's formulated in something like this. Obviously, don't go out and just get full-on tea tree oil, you know, for like a diffuser. Very different. You will probably irritate your skin, but formulated in a product, it's really great to use. And it's got a little bit of witch hazel, which acts as that balancer of super oily skin. So if you have a dry U zone and an oily T zone, that's what witch hazel can really do, because it acts as a astringent. So obviously, I think we've all heard about like witch hazel being a little bit too stripping. If you're gonna use a product that's very heavy on witch hazel, then you probably will find it a little bit drying, but this I found is like perfectly fine.
I think it's formulated well into the product with the pore control complex, which is, as you said, the witch hazel, the tea tree, as well as the red clover.
So I personally wouldn't use this every day if you haven't used a 10% glycolic, but I can use it every night until my acne starts fading away. Yeah. So in my mind, it's kind of the preventative of acne, but also the post-care of acne. And that's how you can use chemical exfoliating toners, which is why they're my favorite. Okay, so moving on to the second product that I really love is the Waterfall Galicia Water Cream. Okay, so this is a gel. It's a true gel. Can't you just imagine the ice-capped slopes and the thing, it flows down
and it flows
just like,
into your jar.
Yeah. It's a beautiful image. What it is a true gel. So what I found with this one, because I've tried a lot of water creams and gel creams in my life, this is actually much more nourishing than other ones I've tried. You know, sometimes you put it on and it just like kind of becomes nothing, which is like all gel creams for Rowena, lol. But even for my skin, sometimes it doesn't provide long-lasting hydration and nourishment, even for oily. But this one I find you don't actually have to use a lot at all. It spreads and leaves your skin with a little bit of that, like, not oily for lack of a better word, but you know, this like protected and nourished feeling.
Even though Fel just said it's more Even though Fel just said is more nourishing than most gel creams, it's actually oil-free. So that means it's not comedogenic, it's not gonna clog your pores, and it's just fascinating.
And you can use this one day or night. I'll just try to show you. It's this like really beautiful clear gel cream that really just bursts all over your skin.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like super lightweight. It doesn't feel oily, but it's just like nourished. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the peptide thing going on.
It's probably
but I definitely feel protected.
Mineral-rich Alaskan glacier water that they have in there.
Wow. Guys,
very
but that's
rich.
also interesting because water makes a huge difference.
It does. You remember how much I love their gel cream? They do have that one gel cream that I actually really like. So it does make a difference.
If you've never used a gel cream, you might just think, oh, it's a lighter weight gel. But when you start using a bunch of gel creams, you really notice the difference. Some of them are actually quite oily. Like I remember the Kiehl's one is actually a little oily. And then you have like super lightweight ones. So this one, I can use at day, I can use at night. And it sits well under makeup. It sits well under sunscreen. I've never kind of experienced any sort of pilling by the time it got to my sunscreen. And if you wanted to, for sure, you could use the toner followed by the moisturizer.
So now let's move on to the eye creams. I have the Yuzu Brightening Eye Cream and Fel has the Wide Awake Eye Cream as well.
Wide awake?
Yes.
With the avocado and date seeds. So you tell me a little bit about yours and we can compare and contrast.
We can share our notes. So this packaging is very similar to the Yuzu sleeping mask, but it's actually very different in texture because this is actually a cream. You can see what it is. It is super buttery. The texture is amazing. It's one of those textures that you do have to work a little for it to come out, but I don't really mind because this is for eye cream and you don't really need too much for your eyes. So when you take it out like this, it's got yuzu, it's got niacinamide similar to the sleeping mask, as well as caffeine, which gives you a boost of brightening as well as a tightening of your skin to help you look a little bit more awake. And it blends beautifully, exactly like butter. And there's also chlorella, which is super high in antioxidants. So this really is a antioxidant packed cream for your eyes. So because my whole face is dry, so of course my eye area will be dry as well, I tend to reach for creams more than I reach for something that's more gel or lightweight, just because I think dry face, dry skin, you just need heavier creams. That being said, this isn't too thick. It is very buttery. It does blend into your skin beautifully. I just prefer this texture for my dry eyes. And it is brightening, so it's great, especially these days. I don't know, with age, I wake up with dark circles under my eyes.
Dude, seriously? Oh my god, age is upon us. Honestly, we're not saying this in a bad way, but I do we both definitely do see differences in the way that our skin kind of like heals and performs on a daily basis. So like what we could get away with before, definitely we cannot get away as easily with now. Like similar to what Rose said just then, my under eyes are like dry and flaky. And then when you try to put like concealer under there, you know, to like hide it, it does not sit nice. And yeah, so I feel more and more as the years go on. Like I'm not saying eye cream is a total must have in a routine, but I'm seeing more and more how I would probably use it.
Yes.
More frequently as the years go on.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's a great base if you were to apply makeup on top of it as well to help it not crease or to help it not look as dry. Remember I asked you a few weeks ago, I was like, Fel, if I already put on my whole face and my eye makeup is creasing, is there anything I can do to fix it? You're like, nah girl, you should have put on moisturizer or eye cream. And I was like, okay, noted.
Yeah, otherwise it will turn to mud under your eye. Oh my god, I've had that happen before. So like, yes. For mine, obviously this is a different consistency. This is very gel-like. So basically it's the Glacier, it's like the Glacier moisturizer, but for your under eye. And it's beautiful. Honestly, I was kind of shook that it came in such a huge bottle. And this is 30 mils, which is 1.01 fluid ounce. I think yours is half of that. So for my oily skin, I don't necessarily need as much, but I still, from my previous story, do need something. And I think one of the reasons why yours is like half the amount is because you need less of it.
You
right?
really
like,
do. Yeah, a little goes a very long way.
If you have extra, just like put it up here, onto the eyelids, onto the forehead, onto your like smile lines. Basically, it's just a moisturizer. And avocado is obviously very high in fatty acids, which build that skin barrier again. You know, it's just one of those like really great nourishing ingredients. So when it's formulated in here, it's very nice. I think actually this is a tad more lotiony than the cream, which makes sense because under here does not generate like as much oils as the rest of your face, so you want it really lightweight without it kind of like sticking. So a little goes a really long way, and there's a lot of it. If you're looking into going and trying eye creams, it's a great start.
Moving on to the last product, which is the peeling cleanser.
Which is the first step of the routine, kind of.
we work backwards this time. So as you guys may have seen in our previous dupes video, we've come across a lot of these Gamage peeling cleansers lately, where you need to start with the clean face, and then you use this gel, start working it into your skin gently, and as soon as it touches your face and you start working it, it starts turning into eraser shavings.
Yes.
It's one of like the best feelings actually. Regardless if you're
so
peeling the
satisfying.
product or if you're peeling like dead skin cells on your face. personally, I don't mind. It's so satisfying.
It is. Because, like, with skincare, a lot of it is just blind faith. It's like, I know you're probably going to work for me, or I hope so anyway. And sometimes when you need that physical, like, validation that something is working, and I feel like these Gamage cleansers play into that kind of psychological aspect of skincare. Okay, but for those of you who haven't come across these or you don't know how to use it, you first want to wash your face with a normal cleanser. So you want to get rid of your kind of like daily grimes or whatever it is, pat it dry, and then you go in with this step. So it's kind of like, it would be your third step of cleansing if you were to do the double cleansing routine and then this, which is why it's only, you only need to use it once or twice a week. It's kind of that added step of your routine for that further brightening and buffing away.
It's like the exfoliation step. So you cleanse, you exfoliate, you move on with your routine, and this also has papaya and pineapple enzymes, which can help with gentle chemical exfoliation.
And typically where we see these papaya and pineapple enzymes is in those powder enzyme washes, which kind of like froths and foams. So that's like kind of one cleansing format with that ingredient. But this Gamage, I feel like if you guys are really into skincare, you should definitely try it. The Gamage. Yeah, this one's really similar to the Be The Skin, which Peach and Lily, we talked to her very recently, and it was one of the 2021 K-Beauty winners for cleansing.
So with these Gamage peels, we both found that after we wash our face afterwards, it has that same feeling as using the Foreo Luna.
Oh yeah.
Where your skin feels like dolphin skin. It just glides. It feels poreless. We're not saying that you need poreless skin because that's never gonna happen, but it feels like every single cell and every single pore in your face is just so happy. It's plump, it's excited, it's fresh, it's new. Anything that was holding it down, negative energy, all of that was just rolled and peeled away. If skincare can make you feel this happy, you found a good one.
So definitely not something that you need, but is, I think, a cool thing to try. And once again, you only need it like once or twice. So anyway, that is our kind of 2 cents on Saturday Skin. I really think it deserves a lot more appreciation, especially into the technology and the ingredients that they use and how like easy and kind of, well, their approach to clean really. And if you're interested in any of the products that we mentioned, whether it's our favorites or the other products, you can get it at Sephora.com or SaturdaySkin.com. Ding! Before we end this lovely Saturday, food for thought this week. What's been on your mind, girl?
So many things. I think what it all comes back to really is that quote we said at the beginning. Balance isn't something you find, it's something that you create for yourself. Just taking time for myself last weekend, having a full day to just unwind and read, and throughout the week preparing so that I can have a free Saturday. For example, doing my laundry during the week, cleaning my place during the week, tidying after myself during the week so that I don't need to do any of that on Saturday was beautiful. And sometimes it's these physical things that you do for yourself so that you can create space to fuel your brain and fuel your soul and fuel your heart, for you to learn and like to go inward and to dig inward and to just exist.
And it's funny you say that because my love language is acts of service, right? And we came out on our Instagram with little self-care things you can do for yourself depending on what your love language is. And for the acts of service, what you would do for yourself is actually doing, like, whether it's chores or planning or whatever it is you need to do earlier so that you do free up time to spend by yourself. Acts of service for yourself.
Yeah.
So what you just said was basically that, and I feel like it's really interesting because, like, even though love languages is like, people like to think of it as, oh, I'm this or I'm this, and kind of like columnize it. It is just a framework. We are kind of built off of each one. So anyways, that is it for this episode. We want to thank Saturday Skin for sponsoring this video so we can share with you guys their lovely products, and we'll see you very soon in the next episode. Bye!
Click the subscribe button and the notification bell so you won't miss us too much, mahaha, and press the like button no matter what. Do it and your skin will be forever bling bling. Thank you for watching the entire video. Very appreciate you all.
XOXO Beauty Within.